Hey guys, welcome to part 24 of my WWE Smackdown Shut Your Mouth Let's Play. It's been a while. I've had this stuff recorded, I've had it edited, ready to voice over for a long time now, but my big problem with it is that while I did do a couple original voiceovers, I just didn't like how they turned out, and then I just started getting into other projects. As you can see, I've got Portal going on, I've got Dungeons and Dragons going on, Fire Emblem started up again, and I just haven't had time to come back to this for a while, despite having all this footage up and just having to voice over it. So for a while I decided, I'll just leave it for now, and I'll come back to it after E3 and give my thoughts on E3, because there's not a lot more I can say about the game that I haven't said already. I mean, there are things I want to get to, but they're not at this point. I mean, this story between Ric Flair and Vince McMahon is just going to keep going and going for a long time now. So let's talk E3. Now, the first thing I'm going to say right off the bat, I think Microsoft won this year. They completely turned it around after their disaster of a conference last year. I mean, they just brought games. They showed all kinds of games, and it's like, I think the Expo, and I'm always gonna call it the Expo, and I don't care if people get mad over it. It's just, I'm never going to get over the fact that they called it the Xbox One. That is the stupidest name they could have come up with, and I've always thought that. I mean, and since I've seen that it abbreviates to the Xbone, I just can't not call it that. It's the Xbone forever and now. So, to continue on, E3, Microsoft, they just completely turned it around this year. I still don't think I'm going to buy an Xbone. I wouldn't mind having one maybe at some point in the future, just because there might be some good games. I mean, I'm really interested in Sunset Overdrive anyway. And I was interested in Dead Rising 3 until I found out that it's coming to PC this year, so So usually my criteria for buying a console is it needs to have two games that I want. At least two games that I want. The original Xbox had Dead Rising. That was it. The Xbox 360 had jack shit. That's it. This one, at this point in time, it has Sunset Overdrive. Maybe another will come out that interests me, maybe not. We'll have to wait and see. But they showed games, they showed gameplay, they showed reveals, they showed all kinds of good stuff. Next in line was EA. EA, I think, was the worst show of E3. It wasn't like really bad or anything. They just didn't show gameplay. The most glaring stuff was when they showed games that they announced last year that they didn't announce anything new on, like Star Wars Battlefront. They teased it in 2013, and now in 2014 they said there'll be more info. Not it'll be released next year. There will be more info in April of 2015. That was just bullshit to me. But in the end, the one good thing I can come out of that is the new Battlefield game looks pretty fun. I'm not fond of shooters, but the cops and robbers type stuff looks interesting. I can't believe that there was actually a guy in the game that actually shouts, "Don't tase me, bro!" That was a little too out there. Ubisoft was next, and Ubisoft was they were the same as always. Ubisoft was Ubisoft. They showed their games. They looked okay. They didn't look too bad. Everything looked fine. They announced some new stuff like new Rainbow Six. I'm sure my brother's psyched about that because he loves Rainbow Six. I used to. I'm not as much into it as I used to be, but it's not a bad game series by any means. Biggest problem with Ubisoft though is they keep having Aisha Tyler come out. I hate her. She's awful. She's not funny at all. I mean, she says stuff that's so bad it's funny. That's how she is, and at least she didn't say girlwood this time. Yuck. But yeah, Ubisoft, they weren't bad. Then came Sony. Sony did really good too. I wouldn't say they did better than Microsoft, but they were really, really close. The problem is they can't keep the flow of their conferences going. They kind of really screwed things up partway through, and like with the PlayStation TV stuff. But you know, they announced some good stuff. They showed some multi-platform games that looked really good. The Far Cry gameplay looked fun. The new Mortal Kombat, oh my god, that's going to be great. I can't wait for that. And then, you know, they had their exclusives. We got a new Uncharted coming, which, you know, I give it a little less flack than I did for Battlefield, because at least they had Battlefront, because at least they had a trailer, unlike just the developer shit that Battlefront had. Anyway, we have a new Little Big Planet coming, which looks fun. We have some new DLC for Second Son that I haven't played Second Son yet. I need to get on that. I need to beat Infamous 2 first, though. Yeah, I'm a little behind on that game. It's not because I've had it. You know how I feel about backlogs. It's because I haven't had it. I can't play a game I don't own. And lastly, Nintendo. Nintendo were middle of the road. Everyone tells me Nintendo won, and everyone who says that is just a blind Nintendo fanboy. You know, that's the thing. I don't like fanboys in general, but I find Nintendos are the worst because they just praise everything Nintendo does. They don't give them criticism. I mean, I'm not too big of a Nintendo guy. I was always a Sega guy as a kid. But, I mean, Super Mario World is one of my all-time favorite games. I cannot deny how great that game is. And, you know, they should have done more with Smash Brothers. Everyone expected me. Palutena was leaked a while ago, and I don't even count Pac-Man because he wasn't revealed during the conference. I'm only talking about the conferences. Nintendo's wasn't barely even a conference. It was the shortest one of the 5. But yet, even with Pac-Man, we knew he was coming. Oh, well. Zelda, I'm not a big Zelda guy, but they should hype the shit out of an open-world Zelda game. What? All it was, okay, here's our open-world Zelda game. You should make that a big deal. Zelda is a huge deal for Nintendo. You don't just say, okay, here's a game. Remember in 2004, I think it was, when Twilight Princess was revealed? Everyone went apeshit over that. I don't see that with this new Zelda game. We had some other new games, like the Yoshi Yarn game, and I'm not fond of the Yarn games. We had a game starring Toad. Yeah, that'll sell well. And Xenoblade. Honestly, Xenoblade is one of those games where the fan base killed it for me, because I don't know. Sometimes really loud, obnoxious fan bases for small games, and Xenoblade was a small game. It wasn't that successful. And, you know, all this shit about Shulk being in Smash Brothers and all this other shit about it being the best game ever, and if you haven't played it, you haven't played the best game ever, and that's just bullshit to me, because I have played fun games, and that doesn't mean that it's the best game ever. You guys are just very, very annoying fanboys. But the new Xenoblade, it actually interests me. We don't see... And I mean, I don't like RPGs in general. I like Dark Cloud, and I like Dark Cloud 2, and I like a few strategy RPGs, and by that... I mean, I like Fire Emblem, and I like Valkyria Chronicles, and only the first one, because the second one went to some stupid bullshit school kids going to war. I hate when anime games do that, but that's a story for another time. New Xenoblade looks fun. It's an RPG with mechs, and I mean, you don't see that very often. And there's one other game I wanted to... Oh yeah, Splatoon, the new IP. New stuff from Nintendo. I think it's just going to be another Fat Princess. It's going to be hyped up to shit. People are going to play it for one day, and it'll never be heard from again. Except maybe in a party brawler. Because everyone wanted Fat Princess in PlayStation All-Stars, that's for sure. But overall, E3 was really good this year. I mean, the only really bad stuff came from EA. And you know, that's pretty expected, because no one likes EA. What are you talking about? There are definitely a lot of games to look out for this year. Oh, and I forgot the biggest one of all, Metal Gear Solid 5. I am so excited for that game. I want it. I want it now. I can't wait for it. I just can't. It needs to be out now. I want it, and I'm going to be impatient and greedy, and so is my brother. And Kojima needs to get us this game. And you know, let's go back into the actual gameplay for a minute here. There are weapons, and this is not a no disqualification match. I don't know why everyone keeps bringing out weapons. I mean, I guess for the ladder you could jump off it, but why did, I think it was Eddie or Billy Gunn go and pick up a sledgehammer? You can't use that. The ref's there. I mean, maybe they were going to get disqualified. I think, actually, the AI guys do disqualify themselves from time to time. Not often, but, you know, maybe if they're playing heels. I guess that's it. I wish I could talk more about wrestling, but I haven't watched in a long time. Like, just not super interested in or not even that. I'm just so busy doing other things. I mean, I'm recording this on a Monday, so Raw's on tonight, and I probably won't even watch it because I got so many other things going on. I want to play games. I want to hang out with friends. It's summer. Let's do stuff. Stampede's coming in less than a month. Stampede being a thing up here in Calgary. It's a fun time of year, and you know, I need to get a job too. Not going so well. I thought I had a place, and I really, really wanted that job, but it just didn't go through. Yeah, I got not much more to talk about. This part's almost over there. I don't really have a rant this time. I had a couple rants originally recorded for these, but I figured I was going a little too far with them. And I mean, if I want to do rants, I will put a camera down in front of me and rant. I don't want to take up too much more time on the games unless I start going off on a tangent. Like, that's possible. I'm not going to just... From now on, I'm not going to just go and say, okay, this is going to be my rant for today. No, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to... It just so happens that I start to get on to things, you know. There we go. But this part's almost coming to a close here, and I don't have much more to say about E3 other than it was good this year, and there were some good games coming out that I want. I'm probably going to end up getting a Wii U this year for Smash Brothers, Sonic Boom, and if Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem ever comes out, maybe the new Xenoblade, if that comes out. You never know, it might come out in 2015. You can't tell. But I think that's it for now, so I will see you guys in part 25. I might record that right after this. I don't know yet. We'll see you in a bit, so take care for now.